I'm WWE superstar Roman Reigns, and today I'm going to be reviewing sports entertainment and professional wrestling within movies and television today. Okay, yeah, all right, yep. I love, the movie Billy Madison, but yeah, they just have the outfit on one guy, so we can't say this is professional wrestling, not one bit, no. He dropped an elbow on him, which was actually one of Dusty Rhodes' The American Dream, one of his kind of signature strikes. So he didn't have quite the pizzazz that the Dream did, but it was a fair attempt, I'll give him that. I mean, you see it nowadays all the time, within UFC, but that's a little bit of a different, doing this elbow drop on somebody's head opposed to, a true strike with the edge of the elbow is a bit different, but, it's a comedy, so we got to have fun with it. He tried his best, bless his heart. So yeah, this is DJ's film, Fighting with Family. It's funny because I actually was there at the Monday Night Raw that they shot this. After our shows, we'll do what we call the dark main event, and it was different this time because they were going to be shooting this portion of the movie in front of the live crowd, and so they had The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, come out, and as he was producing and helping out with the film, he was actually keeping the crowd very energetic because they had already seen about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours of wrestling already. So in order to keep their attention and their energy up, you needed the big guns to come in, and he did that. Slap to the face, yeah, that's as real as it gets. Just ask Stephanie McMahon. And her family is like, they're a wrestling family as well, so you'll hear little comments. You can just tell by the delivery of the dad and the mom, the back and forth, that they're saying some kind of inside stuff, or you know what I mean, they're taking it to heart as all families do. And I have to constantly remind my mom and stuff, it's a performance, I'm okay, I was selling, this is a part of the shtick that we're doing tonight. But you have to constantly remind your family that, it is a performance and that I'm okay. I'm okay, Mom, I'm okay. It's hard for me to say on this because the cool part about professional wrestling and sports entertainment is within the world, through the different regions, there's different cultures of wrestling, and obviously here in Nacho Libre, they're depicting the Lucha Libre, a very Hispanic, Mexican-oriented professional wrestling. It's a little bit different, you'll see a lot of masks, you'll see a lot of different forms of pageantry, different psychology as we would say within the ring too, the different stories that are being told, but thus far, I don't know about, watermelons, pre-match. Hell, my dad and uncle used to do raw fish and stuff like that. I've seen pineapples get busted, so why not a watermelon? Using the back of the head as a weapon, you don't see that very often. It's not safe. Camel clutch. This is also a big thing here. This is like a huge sign of disrespect within the Lucha Libre cultures. Unmasking a performer is really big, especially in his case, because he works within the ministry. So, Nacho's screwed at this point. You'll see it quite often. I actually just saw Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio wrestling a match down in Colombia last week. And I think there was a moment where Randy had the mask completely off and Ray was just face down. He didn't want to show his face. So it's definitely a different little signature you can put, a moment within your story that you're telling. And it just really paints the bad guy, the villain, as just being a real piece of shit. If you're gonna unmask a man, you're a piece of shit. Oh yeah, big wedgie. Yeah, I'd never seen that. That's the most ridiculous set of underwear I've ever seen. Just how loose that's not even. I lay those punches and knees in them. You can see the Holy Ghost in between. So we got to work on that, and that's how you can really tell the good ones is when it's crisp. When the strikes are there, you can see, the meat move and the sweat fly. That's a part of our magic. It's a very physical ballet. You put your heart out there, and sometimes you look silly doing it. We run our own shows. WWE does go down to Mexico, and I was just in South America, so, we definitely love to vibe with the cultures and just the diversity of it, but our shows don't necessarily look like this, I'll say. But yeah, Nacho Libre. I mean, right off the bat, David Arquette, he has a legitimate history within our business, and you can see it in his eyes right now. David on his butt looking up at Macho Man. That kind of feels real in its own right. You know, someone like him, someone kind of within the business, but not really in the business, kind of a fan of the business, but kind of in the business. It's weird. The fact that they're in a 7-Eleven, I don't even know how the ropes got in there. They have aisles in between. Drop kick, yep. Body slam. Axe, big double axe handle. Those are still today. People still do it. Nitro girls, we don't have those. Our women, they wrestle and they wear what they want to wear. Not very realistic as far as these guys doing it to the certain guys that they're taking the moves, but pretty close. He's got the steel chair, pandering to the crowd. It's not that usually that gets thwarted pretty soon. A team of bald eagles and some John Cena shorts. Kick to the beak from, is he from the Taliban of some sort? Okay. I mean, I guess you could tie that into a little bit of our history, even a little bit here and there to this day. You know, the way we connect to our crowd and social media, it sways the opinions a little bit, and everybody's opinion can be voiced a little better. But that used to be a tactic where, like the Iron Sheik, you know, going against this all-American looking Hulk Hogan, that was definitely something that would be played into the storylines. But I think nowadays we've evolved a bit with the times. I just feel like where we're at in 2019, gray area is key. It's hard to just paint one character as, all right, this is the template for what you do. These are the boundaries of what you are. It's not very realistic, opposed to a character kind of being true to each day. The announcer's probably the promoter and the owner as well.
Human spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
Sometimes to this day, you'll hear like Roman Reigns or something weird, you know, especially when we're in a different country or across the world. I had my name butchered quite a bit for a while, so I feel you, Spidey. You shouldn't stand on stage and bicker about your name. You should probably get going, though. And as soon as you go through the curtain, click it on. You just gotta have a thick skin and know what you're doing out there. I've gone out there multiple times where they just weren't having it. They were booing the hell out of me. And by the end of the match, by the time I hit that spear 1, 2, 3, they're cheering me, they're standing up. So that's what's really cool, is through the course of 20 to 30 minutes, you can take them on whatever ride you want to. You can go out there as the enemy number 1 and then come out on cloud 9, just the man, you know what I mean? The chair sucks, all right? The chair, so there's toys, none of them are great. None of them's like, yes, I want to get hit by a kendo stick. That's what I want to do today. Or yes, I want to go through a table. No, I don't ever want to go through tables. It's just the story that we're telling at the time. Are they necessary? Sometimes, but no, I don't ever think like, yes, do we need chairs? I hope we need chairs. I want to use a chair today. There's not like an ounce of me that's thinking like, I want to get hit by a chair tonight. I'm not a big fan of the cage either. Just give me the ring and the ropes. I don't need all that. The cage actually kind of limits the maneuvers and the things and the way I can use the ring. But the cage is a cool story in its own right. I mean, you're trapped in there with a monster beating you on the back with a steel chair. What are you gonna do? You know, how are you gonna respond? Are you gonna step up and come back, or are you gonna smart enough to get out of there? So I think the escape adds a cool like shade to the story, but man, it's metal, it hurts. It's high, you can fall down. You know, there's a lot of variables that I don't appreciate. I've seen some similar situations that were kind of conveyed in this movie, and then I can see how some were a bit carried away. There were some things that were you know, pretty informative, and then some things that may have been exaggerated a bit, but I think obviously everything's on the individual case and the different situation, and every performer, every wrestler is their own person. So we're all gonna have our own journeys and our own paths and our own stories to tell. It's like a head scissor, a couple old school strikes, you know. Mickey strikes are a little Sorry, Mick. Kind of light on that clothesline. I like to really, you know, chest on chest. You can throw it in there, don't be scared. You can see them talking a little bit in the ring. Sometimes you'll see that with some people. I try to take a lot of pride in, you know, keeping my communication skills real private and very hidden. The ref's a part of the match, yeah. I talk to the ref quite a bit, to be honest. You can use them as like a communication bridge, you know, especially if you have distance. You know, if you're both down and one's across the ring the other, that ref is checking and doing his thing, but he can also send messages. He can send, you know, little details that need to be known. the ref is actually very important in the match. You know, he to me is the third character in the story that we're telling. He has a huge, you know, role in the outcome of the match, obviously, and what he sees and what he can actually official. And he's kind of the middleman as far as messages from the backstage to us, because it's live and time is money. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I watched Glow a little bit myself the first couple of seasons, and you know, obviously this is off of a true story, you know, and a real, you know, show and everything. So I thought they did a good job of really kind of making a show, but then also being fairly informative and using the real life characters and stuff. But it was just pretty funny, as you can see Miss America there going against the Russian. Just how they do the characters, and it's very true. You know, you have to have characters in order to make these type of shows work. Little girl up and over where they bounce off the bottom rope. Nobody, if you're a heel, just telling, come on, jump on me, you should lose. Some of the greats, Ricky Steamboat, he did it beautifully, where it just, I mean, opened up. I mean, it was a picture perfect. The dragon could fly. Wrestling's kind of a, you know, an order form of physical entertainment, so you'll see a lot of moves recycled. I do a spear, like 9 billion dudes did a spear before me, but it's just how you use it, how you make it work for you, where you put it within the match, and also how you signature it. You know, I'm a big advocate of making it personal to the character. So I roar, you know, I cock my arm, I hit the ground before the Superman punch. So you got to create interactions with the crowd to where they know, oh, here it comes, X maneuver, or he's about to load it up, here we go. It becomes a part of the show. You want to have things that are identified with you. Our business is cool enough and outlandish enough that we can be made fun of, but we can also make fun of ourselves. And I think we've done that for years now. And I think that, you know, has kept us interesting and always kept us a part of pop culture, is because it's a whole lot of crazy, but then there is a certain aspect of competition that, you know, we can get it down to like the nitty gritty and get serious and get tunnel vision on competition and winning. But then we can also have situations where it just does not make sense at all. You know, it's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's why we are kind of every form of entertainment wrapped up in one. And that's kind of just our history. And you can make fun of us, but we'll laugh with you. You're not going to get us.